With me now is the writer Christopher Hitchens, once a favorite of the left, then the right, and now, Lord knows. Can I say Lord, Christopher?
Prefer you didn't, and I'd also prefer you didn't make me sound as if I'm all over the shop and all over the map.
I want to go back to something that you wrote in July that I loved. It was the piece in Slate called The War Between the Wars, and it was between Iraq and Afghanistan. And you wrote this at the end of the piece. If we had left Iraq according to the timetable of the anti-war movement, the Iraqi people would now be excruciatingly tyrannized by the gloating sadists of al-Qaeda, who could further boast of having inflicted a battlefield defeat on the United States. I dare say the word of that would have spread to Afghanistan fast enough, and indeed to other places where the enemy operates. You went on to call some of the Barack Obama supporters and Obama campaign itself on this. You accused them of loose babble. How are you now essentially supporting Barack Obama, who stands for everything you stood up for, which is this war on terror?
Yeah, well, there are two things. By the way, I could have been harsher about what I'd said there. And now we're told that refugees from the Iraqi terror gangs, defeated and demoralized, are flooding back into Afghanistan to try their luck there. It's the exact reverse of what the liberals say, that there's one good war and one bad war.
But you're voting for Obama.
It's the same war. Now, on Obama, starting with him, everything he's said since the first debate he had with Mrs. Clinton in Texas has been getting better. That's the first time he praised the surgeon, praised the guys from Fort Hood for taking part in it and driving al-Qaeda in Mesopotamia out of Baghdad. He's got much more solid about the thing. He's got a learning curve. He's more teachable. And even when he nominated Biden to be his running mate, the main thing he stressed was how tough Biden had been against Milosevic.
Well, Biden's been pretty much wrong on everything except in Bosnia.
He was very good about Milosevic, though. Now, the losers in this are not me. It's the MoveOn.org types who are campaigning for someone who says that, if necessary, he'll go straight across the border into Pakistan to root these guys out. And McCain has attacked Obama for saying, how can you be so militant? Why don't you realize we need diplomacy with Pakistan?
That's campaign bravado.
No, I'm sorry, Pakistan. I'm sorry,
but Christopher,
I'm sorry, darling.
On what
may I say, darling? You may not. Pakistan is invading Afghanistan. It is a Pakistan-Afghan war.
On what issues, Christopher, do you think Barack Obama is closer to you, foreign policy, than John McCain? Specifically, what position?
I'm only saying he's evolving towards my position, whereas McCain has done something I think...
He's in a campaign.
McCain has made...
well, that's a big bet, though, is it not? That's a big bet on the war on terror you're making.
McCain evinces one disadvantage and adds another. First, McCain is, in my judgment, I hate to have to say it of such a person, I think is losing height, losing capacity. He's just not quite the man he was, and one proof of that, you might add, is his choice of running mate and potential vice president.
The person who's filling the stadiums across the country?
Yes, with I think rather noisy and irresponsible
and
stuff. And people.
My friends go to see Sarah Palin. They're great people. They went to Dartmouth with me, and they're good people.
I'm not very impressed by people who yell traitor and communist and other less principled things.
You're a free speech
I don't
person.
like it.
A lot of this stuff that's been reported now, it looks like the kill him, all that stuff is baloney. It never happened. And I'll tell you something. You want to see some rowdy, nasty things? You know the websites I'm talking about. You know what the people are saying about McCain and about Palin, the words they're using, the nastiness.
Yes, I do.
So, I mean, forgive me if the occasional nasty comment in a rally is not convincing on your worldview, which was get these Islamists, we need to defeat them, we need to win this war on terror. And the one person who is celebrated by the anti-war left as their savior is your man, Christopher. All the stuff you've written and debated your entire career about the war on terror is all wiped away because you don't like Sarah Palin. Why? Because why? Why don't you like her?
Well, I thought you'd never ask. You must have me on more often and tell me what you think, and then you won't have to hear my...
I know, but I'm frustrated with you because you're so smart and you're so articulate, and it's not patronizing, it's true, on this war on terror, and yet you're willing to throw it away because of McCain. It doesn't seem like he's with it enough for Palin.
I think McCain has been erratic and untrustworthy on the question of Afghanistan and Pakistan, for one thing, and second, I think, given the actuarial odds and the way what you can actually see when you hear him and hear when you see him, it's extraordinarily responsible for him to appoint someone who isn't even curious about foreign affairs.
Will you come on?